Hey everybody, just thought I'd do a different video tonight about global warming. Everybody hears about it. Probably most people like you are sick of me. Yeah, I'm talking good already. Most people are sick of it, like me. You hear it all the fucking time, they're just going on and on and on about global warming and CO2. Well, global warming, if you actually do some research, global warming is part of a natural phenomenon. And where our cycle in the Earth is taken, at this point, it's actually quite possible that global warming barely has anything to do with us. I mean, yes, we do contribute, and we do burn off the ozone layer and stuff to a point, but they're blowing it way out of proportion, in my opinion. And it's like this whole carbon tax on everything. It's just ridiculous. Like, a friggin' carbon tax, it's on CO2, and they're worried about CO2 emissions. Well, they're also worried about the rainforest, at least I am, and, trees are good, right? Well, what do trees thrive on? CO2. They say back in history that in times of high CO2, which actually times of high temperature causes high CO2, so that's also a natural phenomenon, that, plants thrived, and there was actually, plants growing in the friggin' Sahara Desert, So how can, our CO2 output all of a sudden be so detrimental, except to us? Which, to us, it is more detrimental. It makes it harder for us to breathe and yada yada. But you gotta look at, in my opinion, what's important, is the world we live in more important than, society as a whole? I kind of think it is, really, but, that's a whole fucking other rant. But yeah, global warming, I think, like I said, it's a bunch of crap. Like, they're feeding us all this bullshit propaganda. Sure, scientists have said this and that, but a lot of it, isn't what they say it is. Just look back at history, if you know any history, to times of there's like the volcanoes back in the day, when the world was way more geologically active. That, like Krakatoa and like some of these volcanoes went off for 2 weeks or 2 months or, 2 years, and there's some volcanoes around the world that are still going, but they're getting less and less because the world is cooling down. But back in the day, what do you think the smoke they're spewing out is? That's the rawest stuff of the world, it's the smoke, it's mostly, I would probably say sulfur and, volcanic ash. But I don't know what volcanic ash is, per se. But at the same time, it's going to burn up, if there's gas or oil or whatever the fuck there is under the ground. If, the volcano's burning that up, well, of course it's going into the air. That doesn't happen as much as it used to, and it still does happen, but not nearly as much as it used to. So, it's just, I don't know, I think it's just a big scam in a way, because it's not as bad as they say they are, in my opinion. Yes, we do a bit, and what we do isn't good, but there's a lot more areas we should focus on. Like, our water is much more important than our air at this point, in my opinion. And if you live in a smoggy area and you think, well, you don't know nothing, I'm sorry, but it does get actually quite smoggy here in Halifax, even during the summer, and it does suck, but that's the problem, that's what you gotta live with modern technology. But anyway, short little rant about global warming. I know probably a lot of people aren't gonna agree with this, but this is my opinion, and if you don't like it, well, that's your own problem. You could offer your own opinion if you like, but it's up to you. Anyways, anybody else, if you agree with me, feel free to comment or rate or, even subscribe if you want. It's all good, man. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. Talk to you soon.